Hello guys, and we're here today with another very interesting deck before we today with some more Metalfoes. Yes, some more Metalfoes. We did Metalfoes on Monday and Tuesday, and now we're back with another Yang Zing. So this is more updated version of the Yang Zing deck, and this is definitely very different than the other deck. The other deck is way more defensive and pretty much just using the pendulum mechanic of just being able to summon out the monsters from your extra deck to give you swarm potential, and then just using the Majin Spectre defenses to get rid of your opponent's monsters, and then you can just attack. But this is much more aggressive. You're going to go second. You're definitely going to want to go second with this deck. You're going to want to try to get rid of the back row. So if you want to put Twin Twister up to 3, that isn't the worst thing in the world to do. And there isn't anything good to discard. Maybe Metalfoes Fusion, but it's definitely worth it. As long as you can go off Twin Twister is definitely worth it. Just getting rid of your opponent's back row, and you can just OTK really easily. So let's just go right into the deck profile. We're playing this very meta, so we're playing Pot of Desires. So this is a 45 card deck. If you don't want to play Pot of Desires, you can't afford it, whatever, take out this, and then you only need to take out 3 cards. I'd recommend Gold Driver, Dylan, and either Summoner's Art or Painful Decision, or maybe a Giotto. So that's up to you. So if you don't want to play a 45 card deck, or if you don't want to play Pot of Desires, get cards out. Anyways, let's just go right in. So we have triple Volframe, triple Gold Driver, double Silverbird, and triple Steelin. And these guys all have the same effect when they're in the Pendulum Zone. They can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and set a Metalfoes spell or trap card from your deck to your side of the field. So that's which triggers the Yang Zing. So you can just pop any Yang Zing and then summon out Giotto, and if you have 2 more Yang Zings in your hand, you can then use his effect and just go off completely. And of course, this is a pendulum deck, so you can just pendulum summon your different Yang Zings that you do draw into, and it's just really nice. Now let's go into the Yang Zing. We are running 2 Zephyrinus. Definitely very important because he searches out our Yang Zing pasts, which is kind of great. Or he can search out Yang Zing creation, but that's not so important. And then we're playing just 2 Suwani, 2 Bayan, 2 Bixi, 2 Chuen, and then 1 Palu, and then 3 Giotto because we want to open up with Giotto, and of course more Yang Zings so that way we can use his effect. His effect is you can send 2 Yang Zings from your hand to graveyard, special summon 1 Yang Zing with 0 attack, such as this guy. This is the guy you want to summon, and then 1 Yang Zing with 0 defense from your deck. So that could be Chuen if you haven't seen him already, or Bayan. And there you go, you just have 3 monsters on the field. You have a level 2 Tuner, a level 6, and a level 3. And you can use the level 2 and the level 6 to make Baxia, bounce 2 cards, and then pop Bayan to summon back out Chuen, and then Bayan can summon out another Zephyrinus, and then you can make another one, bounce another 2 more cards, and then maybe pop another card and summon out more monsters. So definitely great combos that can be made there, definitely great combos. And I do want to mention that these guys all have effects. When they're synchro summoned, it makes the single monster immune to traps if you use Bixi. Can't be destroyed by battle, I believe. Gains 500 attack and unaffected by spell cards. So definitely very interesting. And then Chuen, if a Yang Zing monster is destroyed and he's in the graveyard, you can summon him out. So that really helps with just getting out a really nice tuner. So if you destroy a monster, you're like, I don't want to summon out a tuner, Chuen's there for you. He'll summon himself out, but he gets banished. So that kind of sucks. And that is pretty much it for monsters. We just also have the double Maxi, just so that way we can have some more consistency. Maxi is just kind of mandatory this format. And then we're playing triple Painful Decision. Painful Decision allows us to dump 1 Gold Driver, 1 Silverbird, or 1 Steelin, and then add another copy of that card to our hand. So definitely very, very good. Very useful, just being able to search out a Metalfoes monster. And then we have Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion I love in this deck because Baxia can summon out Norden more than once. So you can just do crazy, ridiculous plays. And just being able to summon out a tuner, it's just too much. Too good. Way too strong. And then we have Yang Zing Pass is Yang Zing Pass. It's a Pot of Avarice, shuffle 3 Yang Zing monsters into your deck, draw 2 cards. You definitely want to put in Baxia if you haven't. Like, he needs to, we're only playing 2, and if you don't have any more in your deck, you kind of want to put 1 back. So just make sure that you do. So like if you use the first 2 Yang Zing paths as you want, just for more draw power, just for making bigger fields. but save the last one for when Baxia is in the graveyard. You gotta save that last one. And then Pot of Desires just allows us to draw more cards and just more consistency overall. Allows us to draw into Yang Zing so that way we can make sure we have Jayatu's effect is live. So definitely very useful. Do recommend trying to do as much searching as possible. But sometimes it's like, oh, I want to get Twin Twister, so I'm not going to activate anything because I don't want my opponent to Solemn Strike my Yang Zings when they're trying to summon. And then for Metalfoes stuff, we have Metalfoes Fusion, just for fusion summoning. Summoner Art to search out Wolframe, Twin Twister because it's so important. Yang Zing Creation allows us to multiply with our Yang Zing monsters. If the Yang Zing monster is destroyed, or if a monster you control is destroyed, it doesn't have to be a Yang Zing. You can special summon out a Yang Zing monster from your deck, so definitely very, very useful. And then we're playing double Metalfoes combination. I like this, and instead of playing the Floater Trap, that allows us to add from the extra deck when you banish it. I like this better in the Yang Zing build, because you can pop this with Baxia, and then summon out a monster, and then this guy, when it's popped, it gives you off a search for Metalfoes. So then you can search another card, and if you don't have your Pendulum complete, you can then search out the other part of your Pendulum, and then Pendulum summon monsters such as Zephyrinoo, and then Zephyrinoo will search for Yang Zing Pass, and it's just really, really nice, just having that extra searcher. And he isn't too awful, especially with Painful Decision, because in the mirror match, this is actually pretty decent. Once per turn, if a fusion monster is fusion summoned, target a Metalfoes monster graveyard with a lower level, special summoning. So definitely not the worst thing in the world, and it does give an advantage in the mirror match against another Metalfoes deck. And that is pretty much it for the main deck. It's just a lot of this is on the extra deck. Like, it's just search, get to Jayatu, and then just make your plays. Like, once you get off Baxia and you get his effect off where you bounce 2 cards, you're good, because your opponent just lost 2 cards and you're gonna go off. And the combos this deck can make is pretty decent. So let's go right in. We're playing one of each of the Metalfoes fusions. They're decent overall. He's level 8, so he can help with making rank 8s. And then this is level 5, just does nothing really you could use it for except just synchro summoning again. And then of course Norden summons out a level 4 lower from your graveyard. And then Chao Feng, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Chao Feng is definitely interesting. I put this in here just in case I needed something to make that was level 9 and not Trishula. It prevents your opponent from activating monster effects whose original attributes are the attributes of the Yang Zing monsters used to synchro summon this card. So if you use Chilean and Baxia, which is the easiest way to probably make him, your opponent can't activate the effects of light monsters, which definitely hurt Cosmos and Blue Eyes. Yes, Blue Eyes. Of course it hurts Blue Eyes. And I feel like I'm missing some other deck that it would hurt, but I don't know. But you could also use the Earth or the Fire or the Water, like you're facing Atlanteans, and you can make that. And so it definitely helps a lot, just being able to say you can't activate monster effects. So that's why I have him in here. But he isn't aggressive. He isn't going to help you go for game. This is what you make during main phase 2. During main phase 1, you're going to try to make cards like Trishula, just to get rid of cards. Make Ignister. Pretty easy to make. Like, you can make him with Jayatu and Zephyrinoo, just like you can make Baxia. But you could also make him with Wolframe and Chilean. So that's also something decent. And then, of course, Baxia is Baxia. 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner Wham monsters. Level 8. Bounces 2. And then you can target a card you control. And 1 level 4 lower monster in your graveyard. Destroy that card. And then special summon the monster from the graveyard. So, very useful if you summon out. If you can pop a Yang Zing and it'll summon out a new Yang Zing. And you can summon out. So, you can just make stupid fields. You can make crazy fields. And Yanyazi is a Scrap Iron Scarecrow, I believe. Cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects, so definitely very useful. Target 1 Yang Zing monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them. And when this card is destroyed by card effect, special summon 1 Wham monster from your deck in defense position. So he can pop himself, pop another card your opponent controls, and then he summons another monster. So definitely not the worst thing in the world. And then Moonlit is Moonlit and Black Rose is Black Rose. Like, Excitonite is banned for a reason, so that's like my reasoning behind running Black Rose. And then Moonlit just being able to bounce is kind of like Castel, except not as good. For XZ monsters, we run 1 number 38, who you can make was just pretty easily, like 2 Baxia. And then Big Eye for Wolframes, definitely good. And if you do get the option to make a rank 4, I suggest Utopia the Lightning. Like, you could put 101, Dark Rebellion, or Castel, and then maybe put in another Synchro. But I just put in Utopia the Lightning because I'm focusing on OTKing my opponent. That's like my goal. And so this is just another option. You know you can't XZ summon or Pendulum summon while you have this card face up on the field. But if it's face up on the field, you should be able to pop it pretty easily. And then I also want to mention this guy, Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. Definitely an interesting card, because you can target a card in your Pendulum Summon and special summon it, and this is a level 7, and Wolframe's a level 7, so it can help with making level 7, rank 7 XYZs, if you decide to play it. So maybe like if you decide to play Dark Rebellion or Castel, you could take out Utopia and Utopia the Lightning and put this guy in, but I'm not playing him. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck file. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.